What weapons or strategy would actually be good in Vermintide? It's a very interesting question, especially in my opinion. Now, the concept is you are basically in a Left 4 Dead setting with, instead of zombies, it's rats. And instead of, high-powered sniper or rifles, you have swords and axes and shields and all, and bows and arrows, and only previous, or like not previous, but really 1800s kind of weapons. So, what weapons or strategies would actually be very useful in that situation, if not downright destructive, if you used it correctly too? Well, what the Roman legions did was they actually got scutums, which are basically tower shields that go up to your chest, and they would literally hold that in front of their enemy, and they would all be right-handed. But the thing is, they would all, I mean it all, have swords in their right hand. So whenever they had a problem, or someone who, just decides to run in it, like the idiots they would be, instead of staying back, they would run into the shields, and they wouldn't be able to get through them because, it's freaking a scutum with a metal in the middle, with a metal tip in the middle, and it's completely wooden, so you're not just gonna slice it open. So what weapons... So besides that, what else would they be able to do? They have revolvers, they have like 1800 revolvers, which is actually kind of funny. Whenever my friends told me that it was like Left 4 Dead, I was like, oh, so it's like rifles and all that other stuff? But no, it's not. But the thing is, it's much easier in that game because you have a sword and you don't have any stamina to go off of. So technically, wouldn't you just be able to use... Okay. So it's in the 1800s or so, around that period, with wooden guns and really kind of witch-like places, or like the witch trials, and witchcraft still would those things would still exist. So my question is, in that time period, is there something that can actually, take down a bunch of them, but still stay intact? Well, the thing is, where's the setting of this place that you're fighting? The only place I've actually been in, personally, was a city, more or less a village. And if you can actually take a bunch of tower shields, whether they're kite shields or they're just small ones, small shields, if you take those shields and you multiply them by everyone, there's actually someone who actually uses a small round shield, which is very interesting because he's probably the smartest man out there, and he's a dwarf. Yeah, you can play as fantasy races as well. There's no furries in it. Sorry. There's only humans, and that's really a human, a dwarf, an elf, a witch hunter, which is basically just a human, and an imperial, like knight of some kind. But you see, the thing is, the knight doesn't wear armor, or like, not really. He wears this like crappy, really crappy stuff. And to be honest, besides that crap look, like really, really out of fashion look, like, besides that, I think they would actually be able to get a bunch of guys with revolvers, put them in a square, and if they can, give them either hand and a half, or right, or arming swords, and then give them shields and a pole arm. Perfect. The rats would never be able to fight them off, because they're okay. You have to get close, but you have to get through the pole arms, and if they hit you, the rats are basically just Left 4 Dead zombie strength. So you literally can kill them with a guitar. So they're not very powerful, not very durable at all. Like, I mean it, at all. Let's see what's next. Then you have the actual getting to them part. Well, they have tower shields, so technically they don't have to come to you. You have to come to them in order to hurt them at all. So, what's your mistake? Well, I really don't see one. And by the way, I'll watch people like Scalagrim and what's his name? Metatron. Son of a bitch. And I know a lot from them. So I'm not some complete moron who thinks friggin' what's it called? Skyrim logic over here. I'm actually thinking of like real life. So, first you have pole arms. You have to get past them. And if somehow you do, by the way, they are on alert, and it is very difficult to get past somebody else's pole arm. Then you're gonna have to be able to pass their shields. After that, you're going to have to either they can either take their swords out and literally just stab you to death with no resistance whatsoever, because they would still first have to get through the shield. And then they'd actually have to get through the part that is most likely not gonna be fun at all. They have to get past the arming swords, or hand and a half swords that they'll probably use. And or they can go sabers and what's it called? Sabers and revolvers. They can take the revolvers completely out of the situation and completely annihilate them. Of course, give them armor as well. No duh. But I'm just saying, that's the way I'd do it. That's the way they should be given. Now, this may not be like 100% accurate versus some of the stuff that I say. However, this is the first video that I actually compare something like this with. My next video will be probably about something different. I just killed a bob. Yay. And the armor, actually, I forgot to point the armor out. The armor, they have, the rats carry, depending on which one, they also have a Gatling gun, which is very interesting. So, They have a guy with a Gatling gun. They have a guy with a polearm. They have another guy with a smoke grenade. Not really a smoke grenade, more or less an acid bath grenade, kind of. Oh crap. And the thing about that is that it's going to be very, very, I mean it, very difficult to actually survive a hit like warn off a hit such as that one. Like from a polearm or something like that. It's very difficult to do that because, well, those polearms that they use are a kind of a glaive, but it's a bit different than a glaive. Oh boy, that's gonna be fun to play with. Now, the armor is not really required because they don't hit you very hard. They probably just throw the weapon at you with light force. I mean, I was going easy, so... Oh, crap. But the thing about that is that... Oh, yes, my bad. I forgot to mention one more thing. They have the numbers on you. There is literally a city full of them. But you are only 4 people, so the overall numbers are going to be more in their favor, but the quality is in yours. That's basically how it is. And to be honest, that's probably the worst scenario that you can go up against. Especially if you're the one with the quantity and they're with the quality. Because if they have the quality, they can literally make even grounds with your quality or quantity. That was the video, and I'm sorry for the long pauses, but I am in the middle of a game that I set myself up for failure. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe for more videos of stuff like this. Bye, weirdos.